No doubts actually.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about the features of Java. So I think we have covered almost everything, and we were left with high performance. I will provide you a document today for the features. All right. And one more was there that was dynamic. Anybody has any idea like what is high performance and what is dynamic? Okay, no one. Okay, so let's talk about high performance feature of Java. So in general, what is high performance? Which can process your data relatively high or relatively in a short time in comparison of other languages. So we can say that is performance is high, right? Yeah, execution is fast. Sanvi is saying execution is fast, correct? All right. Okay. So how how Java is delivering high performance? Let's talk about this. So there are two concepts. One is JIT compiler. We will learn in JVM, and the other one is interpreter. So you guys know what is interpreter and compiler? Compiler is basically responsible for converting your code into machine readable code. So there are two different things. We are talking about JIT compiler. In last session, I believe I have given some idea about Java C when we were talking about platform independence. So this is the compiler which is basically responsible for converting your Java code or source code into bytecode. It converts source code into bytecode. There is another thing that is called JIT compiler. What it does basically, so it reads your bytecode because in last session I told you this bytecode is an intermediary code which can be understandable by JVM, right? This is understandable by JVM. So there is a component that is called JIT compiler inside JVM, which is responsible for converting your bytecode into machine readable code, or we can say microprocessor readable code. So what it does basically, JIT compiler, it reads your code and converts it into microprocessor readable instructions or microprocessor understandable code. All right. So how it works? Like there are two things: interpreter and JIT compiler, which makes Java to deliver high performance. So when we say JIT compiler, so JIT basically stands for just in time compiler. What it does, like in a program, okay, so before moving to the process, like how it works, let me just tell you like how it works basically uh, in a system. So compiler, we know it is responsible for converting bytecode into machine readable format. And one more thing is there which we should know, which that is it converts the entire program into one time, into machine readable code one time basically. But when we say interpreter, what it does, it reads one line and execute that particular line. So interpreter works line by line and compiler works with the entire program. Now how Java will decide, like if there are hundred of instructions, right? How Java will decide which line to give which component, JIT or interpreter. So basically Java is smart enough in that part. What it does, like it see where are the different like if we have some kind of looping concept which we needs to execute number of time, or we are doing a repeatable task. So what it does, it gives that task to the compiler to do, and the task which we wants to execute one by one, the JVM itself gives the task to interpreter. So basically these two, JIT compiler and interpreter, works simultaneously inside the JVM and process your program or process your logic to output the end result. You got the whole idea, like how it works? Please confirm, guys. Yes. Okay. All right. Interpret is one line at a time. Perfect. Yeah, Alan, right. What is the main purpose of JIT? So JIT is basically converting bytecode into machine readable code. But when these two works together, so what it basically adds in terms of performance, it makes the execution fast. What it does before compiler is more for the entire program. Yeah. So there is a question from Mamta. What is the main purpose of JIT? So JIT is basically to convert your program or bytecode into machine readable format, but there are certain kind of instructions you are going to write in your program. So that depends, like how you are writing your program, what kind of instruction you are writing. So based on the logic, it decides whether to give that particular instruction to JIT compiler, the just-in-time compiler, or to interpreter. Okay. All right. So first Java C, then G. So Java C is a different thing. Java C is basically converts a program into a bytecode. Now, what JIT compiler does, it converts bytecode into machine readable code. Okay, let me just give you a brief context on that part. Let me add on one image here. Just give me a moment. All right, I'm going to insert one image here. Okay, so I believe this image can be seen by all the participants. Can you see, guys, this one? Okay. So when we say Java, so for example, we have this source file that is test.java. When we say Java C test.java, so what it does, it converts the Java file into a bytecode. Okay. And then further in JVM, there are two components we are discussing about. The first one is JIT compiler and second one is the interpreter, which are basically responsible for converting the bytecode into machine readable format. Like if we are on Windows, it will convert the instruction based on Windows format. If we are on Linux, it will convert based on Linux. If we are on Mac, it will convert based on Mac. You getting the basic idea? Yeah. Thanks, Alan, for confirming. All right. Okay. So can we move to the next point, which is dynamic? If it is clear. Okay. All right. So next thing is dynamic. So in Java, what happens when we load a particular class, then only that class gets loaded. Like for example, we have multiple classes in our program, and some of these are not yet required our program, so it will not load that class basically. So when we say Java and then we say class name, so what it does, it basically loads the class into JVM and then start executing. So in Java, all the classes not loaded at the time of class loading process. What it does, it loads the class dynamically, means on demand, it loads the class. That is called dynamic loading. And one more thing I forget to mention here for this GIT compiler and for interpreter. So where both the techniques get used. So what is basically called adaptive optimizer. When we have two uh, so wherever we have concept of JIT compiler and interpreter, that technique is called adaptive optimizer. Who is requesting for record the session? Mamta. Bytecode is converted to machine code by JIT interpreter from JVM. Am I correct? Yeah, that is correct, Mamta. Someone is asking for to record the session, so please be aware the session is itself getting recorded, I believe, and you will get a recording at the end of session from the coordination team. Okay. So next one is the dynamic feature. So dynamic is basically like loading of class into JVM is dynamic. On demand class loading would be there. We will see it when we will have some kind of classes and some kind of programs we will work in next few days. So don't worry, we will see like how dynamic class loading works in Java. So you can keep a note so that I can explain what is basically dynamic feature of Java programming. All right, guys. Okay. So these are the basic features we have discussed. We have covered almost everything from the features part. If there might be like I haven't covered, there might be any feature. So you can come and ask for that particular feature in incoming session. All right. So now what I suggest is let's do a program and see how things works in Java, and later on we will move to the next topic that is uh, basic history feature we have covered, why Java, where we can use, what are the different applications of Java. So before moving there, what I suggest is let's do a program. Let's see how we can print hello world in Java. Okay. So before moving to this program, what we need to do is first we need to install Java in our system. So I already have Java installed in my system. So I would request to someone if they can give control to me and I can install Java on their system. Anyone wants to give control to me? Anyone from coordination team is here? Like for me, it would be a cup of tea because I already have Java, but hello, I think my internet connection was interrupted for a moment. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I was asking for someone if they can share your screen and follow my instructions so that we all can see how we will install Java and we'll move further for next step. So who is gonna volunteer this?
So you want to take the control or you want
No, no,
anyone
no.
first?
Any of you can just start sharing your screen and I'll give some instruction and then you need to just follow that.
Okay. Um, I would like to do the volunteering.
Okay, go ahead.
So I just need to share the screen.
We cannot see your screen for now.
Can you see now?
Yes, I can see now. So just do one thing. Just type Java SDK download
Java
SDK or
SDK
just say JDK8 download. Just say that.
JDK download.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. JDK. Okay. Now which one? Hello.
Yes, yes. So you might got a link. Okay.
Which one?
Oracle one. Yeah.
Here.
Java SC development kit. Click on the below link. Java SC development kit.
Kit 8 or Kit 11?
Kit 8. So for this program, we are going to use Java 8.
Okay.
Guys, please keep following like what she is doing. The same thing you need to do if you don't have Java installed on your system.
So Java SE download.
Yes,
Should I click here? Okay.
JDK download. Yes. So this time, I believe we are going to get Java 15. Okay, no problem. It will work. Just go ahead and complete the download. Scroll down. Yeah. So we are going to install Java 15. So what is your operating system? Based on that, choose the correct version and just start download.
Okay. So do I have to check it's
Are you on Linux?
64-bit? Sorry,
Are you on Windows, Linux, or Mac?
I'm on Windows.
Windows. Okay, just click
Win.
on your computer and just click properties, and you will find like what is the version you are using in Windows 64 or 32.
Okay, over here.
Yeah, you are right, Alan.
Like, oh, from here I can check, right?
I can see your browser screen. I'm not sure if you have shared the entire screen or the browser only.
Okay, okay. So do I have to go? How can I check which one I'm
So
using?
you must have computer icon on your system.
Uh-huh.
This PC or something called
Okay,
my
okay, okay,
computer.
okay. This PC. Okay, I
Yeah.
do have this PC.
So just right click on that and go to properties.
Uh, from this PC. From this PC, should I go to then?
So
Um,
click right click on that and just go to properties, and it will open a new screen where you can find all the information about your system.
not saying anything.
So when you right click on this PC, you might get an option for properties.
Yes.
Okay, okay, let's do one thing. Just go for the 64-bit. Okay,
Okay. Sorry.
no problem.
Okay. 64-bit.
The second last one. The second last one.
Second last one. And this
Yeah,
one?
exe. Yeah, right.
Okay.
This one. Okay,
So
terms and
I.
condition you need to accept,
Okay.
and I believe it might ask for. Okay, no, it's not asking for anything. Okay, it will take
Downloading.
45 seconds. Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, can you
Hmm.
do one thing? Can you open command prompt?
Okay. For command prompt.
Yes.
Yes. Can you see?
No, actually, you have shared your browser
Okay.
only, I believe. So you need to share again the entire screen. Just
Okay.
go to share screen option, and then you
Mm,
will be able to share the complete screen.
okay. Hold on.
Meanwhile, others
Like that.
people can also try with Gurpreet.
Can you see now?
Yes, just type Java,
Java
and then space
space.
minus version or hyphen version.
Like this.
Yeah, version version.
Minus version. Okay.
Yes. Just press enter. Okay, so you can see there is no Java installed for now. You can see the command Java version is saying Java is not recognized as an
Mm-hmm.
internal or external command.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so what we will do is first we will install Java. Okay, and then we will run the same command again.
So sing yes.
I would
So
request all the participants, guys, please keep following.
so next
Yeah, next,
and
next. Close. Yes. Now close this command prompt once and open it again. Run the
mm,
same command again.
Java
Yeah.
version. Okay.
Okay. So now everything is working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, in some cases, what might happen with you guys, like installing after installing Java, you will get the same response like Java or Java C is not recognized as an internal or external command. Then you need to check your executable path in system variable. All right. So this is a typical task for you if anyone face this kind of issue. Just typing it here. What is path and how to set path? Okay. So you might need to set path in your system variable. Okay, so just do one thing, just go and do some research on this, and in case you think you need help, you're welcome. I will be here to help. Okay, all right. So Java is working now. Now let's start writing our first program. Just open Notepad or Notepad plus plus, whatever you have.
Um, I have WordPad. Will this
Okay.
work? WordPad.
Yes, I believe it will work. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to write a first program for this. What we need is we
Mm-hmm.
need to write class and then class name. So how we can write, let me just show you for a moment. Let me
Okay.
type it here, class.
So how will you share with me?
So I'm sharing in chat.
Okay. 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 So class. Oh, sorry. I'm typing in here.
From here I
Class.
think I can do one thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean you all got the idea like how to install Java. Now
Yes.
the rest of the step I can take from my system. All right.
Okay. Let
Okay.
me
So
run this, and then you can take the control. Okay.
so
And then
it
how to
will
run this one?
yeah, it will not show anything for now. We
Okay.
need to do some more thing. So
Okay.
just stop sharing. I'll share my screen and we'll show you like how things gonna work.
All right. Okay. 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 I start sharing.
Okay.
No, no, not leave meeting.
One second, guys. Can you see the screen, guys? Hello. Yes. Okay. So to create a class, what we write the class keyword. C will be in small case. Okay. Then the name of class. So let me just write a generic syntax like class. Then we will have class name. And then curly braces start and curly braces close. So this is the format. Sorry. Okay, so now we just want to create a class. So how we can write is we can say class. I'm sorry, I'm writing it in caps. It is in small case. CLASS class and then name of class. So let's say I'm taking hello world. Okay, so in this way we can write the code in a class, right? Now what we need to do next is, so instead of writing it here, let me just open notepad and we'll write over there. So I believe everybody can see my screen, my notepad screen. Class hello world. Now we need to write a method that is called main. So for this we need to write public. So for couple of days you need to work on like on faith based learning like you have done in your childhood. Like if I say this is A, then you accept that this is A and you were not like why it is A. So we will come to that later on, like how we are going to write it like this only. Okay, so for couple of days you need to trust me, like we need to if we want to do something, then we need to follow these particular steps for next couple of days, not more than that. Here we will say string args. Okay, then we will write system dot out dot println. Then here we can have hello world. Okay, so this is the program we have wrote. Everybody can see, I believe. Now I'm saving this program on my desktop and I'm giving it name hello world dot java. Instead of saying java here, what we can do is we can choose the extension of the source file here. Okay, so make sure when you save your program, its extension must be .java. Okay, so we have saved our program on desktop. Okay, now let me just open the command prompt and show you guys like how we are gonna run it. Okay, Mamta is saying, can you show us how to set path and what is the use why we have to do? Okay, I'll come to that in couple of minutes. Okay, so just let me just run this program once and we'll come to that. So all you guys can see my command prompt screen, right? Okay, so from this you can see we are on C drive, then users, then HP, and I have set my program on desktop. So what I can do is I'll say change directory to desktop. Okay, now I am on desktop, and if I run dir command, so I can see whatever the files we have on desktop. Okay, so we have something called hello world.java. Um, yeah, can you see the highlighted one? Hello world.java. So instead of writing it here, let me just do one thing. Let me move it in another folder and then we will work on it. So I have moved that file into another folder, that is new folder 3. Okay, and if I say dir, you can see there are only one file for this time, hello world.java in this folder. Now to compile this, what we need to do is java c, then the name of file, which is hello world java. Okay, and we need to just press enter. So what it will does, it will create a class file in the same directory. Like you can see if I say dir, so earlier there was only one file, java hello world.java. Okay, now there are two files. One is hello world.java and one is hello world.class. So basically what this command did is it it has created a file that is called hello world.class, in which we have the bytecode. Okay, now the next step is how to run it. So what we can do is to run the program java, then name of the class, and in this step we will not use the extension the dot class, we will just say java and then hello world. Okay, so you can see the output, we are getting hello world on our screen. Okay, all right, now I would request to Gurpreet, like, to run the same program on your screen, how to move one directory to other directory. So to move between directories, what we can do is we can do cd command, change directory, and then we can give the path from where you want to move. Okay, like if we want to go back, I can just say cd dot dot, so it will go back cd dot dot, again back cd dot dot back, like this. Okay, so cd is the command basically to change for directory, and this kind of method we are going to use next couple of class, because on when you will work in industry, so this command prompt will not gonna help you so much for rapid application development. Okay, so we will have some IDE concept over there, like IntelliJ, Eclipse, Visual Studio, but when we say like a production environment, there IDE won't be there. This commands prompt would be there. Like if you want to run something and you want to check something, then you can take help from this command prompt. So you must aware like how to execute a Java program using command prompt, right? Let me just show you a look of Eclipse as well, so that you guys feel comfortable. Like this process a bit lengthy. Let me just give you a look on Eclipse. I think who has done programming in past, they have the basic idea like what Eclipse is and how it works. Okay. All right. So I believe you can see my screen, guys.
No.
Okay. Now,
Yes, we
Yes.
can see now.
okay, fine. So here what we can do is we can just say new and project. So project is basically a group of classes, libraries, or different kind files, right? So we will just say Java project for now, and let me name it uh, demo project. Okay, then we will say next and then finish. Okay, so you can see here we got demo project, and to create a class here what we will do is new, and then we will go to class, and we just need to name the class. Let me call it hello world. Okay, and I'm going to write main method here, and then so you can see it saved a lots of time, right? You getting me? Why we use IDE? Okay, now we need to run it. So basically what happens when we works with IDE like this, so it at the same time it keeps compiling our code. Basically for this Java file what we have is we have a dot class file already generated. Let me show you that as well. Okay, so for that what we need to do is we need to go Windows preferences, sorry, not preferences, um, what is the name of perspective, navigator. Yeah, okay, so this is the we were working on demo project. So this is demo project basically. Okay, when we say source, here our Java file will be stored, and in bin the corresponding class file will be stored. And one more benefit working with IDE is like if you have something wrong with your program, it will notify you at the same time. You can see the red icon here because we are missing a semicolon at the end, right? So that is the benefit basically, and we can just run it doing run as Java application, and the output will be here in the console. Okay, so don't worry, for couple of classes we will use Notepad so that you guys can use to and get familiar with it, and later on we will just move to this Eclipse IDE, because at the end we need to work in industry and we need to work this kind of tools. All right, so I believe everyone got the idea like how to write your first program. So what we need to do is we need to create a class, then we need to declare the name of class, and then we must have this file, that is, sorry, main method basically. So main method would be there in every program. Okay, and then whatever you want to do or print, you can just say the similar thing here, like I can say here hello Java. The similar would be printed here. You can see here, right? So this is basically the very first step towards learning your Java. Okay, later on, using this kind of classes, methods, we will build a system like you can see Flipkart, Amazon, right? So this kind of system, if you want to build, then basics must be clear. You getting my point? Okay. Now, for now, there was a question that I haven't answered yet. That was from Mamta. She was saying how to set path. Okay. Mamta, can you share your screen with me? We'll do on your screen. Okay, no worries. Let me do it on my one. Okay. So again, you can see my system, right? Okay. Okay. So if I say CALC, you can see the calculator is getting opened. All right. Because the path of this calculator executable is set in environment variable. Now the question is how to set environment variable. So for this, what we need to do is we need to say this PC, or in Windows 7, like you might have option of my computer. Just go to properties and then say advanced system setting, then environment variables, and then you can just go here. There is a variable called path. Okay, let me just edit it. So you can see there are multiple paths already I have defined, and if you want to add a new path, you can just say new, the name of the path of the executable you can put here. Like in my case, my JDK path is this, basically C program files Java JDK 1.8 and then bin. So like if I say here Java C, or let me just say Java version, so you can see it is showing the version of Java I'm having right now. But in case I delete this, let me just delete this one, and yeah, so I have deleted that path. Okay, okay, and okay. Now if I open command prompt again and I say Java, then version, it's still working. I think path. Okay, we have one more path variable which I am not want to delete. Java path. Okay. Let me delete this one as well. Okay. Okay. And okay. It's still working. Can anyone else can try? There is the only thing we have. Path, edit, Windows, Python, and this is for script. User profile. Okay. So I'm not able to like demonstrate it here. So I would request someone else to share your screen. Uh,
I can share.
okay, go ahead.
Just tell me the steps what to do. So should I go to
I have a question in chat. I'll come to that in few minutes. So don't worry, guys. Your question will be answered very soon. Okay, can you just go to properties of your system and then environment variables like I was showing you guys.
okay,
All right.
this PC properties and then advanced system settings?
Yes. Environment variables. Okay, so there is one path variable or
It's here.
yeah, yes, here, yes. Just click on this and edit. Okay, so just delete this variable once.
The first one?
Yes, just to delete.
Okay.
Okay, and okay. Okay, one path variable we have on above window. Yes,
Uh,
below,
here?
yes. Yeah, basically you can see there are two separate blocks. So one is for the current logged in user and one is for the all the users for a system we have. Like in a system we can have multiple users, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So in your system you have a user that is called Preet. So
Mm-hmm.
the above we are setting will be applicable to Preet only, and whatever we are going to set in system variables will be applicable all the users in a system. Okay,
Okay.
so can you just edit this path as well?
This one?
Yeah, edit and user profile. Okay, just do one thing, edit this one, edit this one. Yeah, and just remove the user profile thing from the beginning. Yes. Okay,
Okay.
and yeah, just
Is this backslash also?
just do okay and open a new command prompt and then see if it is still working or you are getting Java C is not recognized as an internal or external command.
Still working.
It is still working. Like so what could be there, like it is setting somewhere else in some configuration files, but the guys who are in on Windows 7 or the previous version, they will face the problem if JDK path is not set. So Mamta, your question was like what is a path variable? So basically path variable is a variable that defines, that tells the system where to look for executables. So when you say Java or Java C, that means you are giving an instruction to a system to perform some task. So before performing that task, what it will do, it will look for that particular executable in your system. So you are telling in system there are certain directories we have, go to that particular directory and execute this particular tool from that particular directory. You got it, Mamta? Please confirm. Mamta, I didn't get you. I mean, you are still have confusion on this. Okay. Can you please copy paste? Yes, I have posted that. Can you give an example? Mamta, what kind of example means? What was your question like? Give me some context on this.
Hi, Anuj. I will do that one and I will let you know if I don't get it. But that question was for, I was asking about changing the directory from one directory to another directory from the CMD command prompt.
Okay, okay. So you can explore some DOS command, right? Just type DOS command in Google and you will find like what are the different DOS commands we have, how to make a directory, how to change a directory,
Yeah,
copy and paste, all these stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Why do we need class in Java? Alan is asking. So in Java, we cannot write a program without a class. If we want to write a small hello world program, we need a class, whether it is a small hello world example or it is a big application. So class must be there. Like outside a class, we cannot write anything. That is mandatory. How to move one directory from another? Can you show us how to set path? So path you can just set like this that we just discussing about. Okay, okay. So now I would like to invite you guys, if you have any doubt from today's session, how to run a hello world program, how to write a program, how to save it. Anyone who want to ask, go ahead and ask.
So, Anuj, should I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can. Okay, let me invite one by one. Gurpreet, do you have any question from today's session?
Uh, I think we should restart the system after deleting those paths variables.
Okay,
What do you
just do
think?
one thing. Try after this session, right? And
Okay.
let me know tomorrow.
All right. All right.
Okay.